Imagine trusting doctors to help you, only to find out years later you were never meant to be treated at all. For decades, a group of men believed they were receiving free medical care. In reality, they were part of one of the most disturbing medical studies in American history. This was the Tuskegee syphilis study, and it didn't just cross ethical lines. It completely ignored them. The study began in 1932 in Alabama. At the time, the United States was in the middle of the Great Depression. Many people, especially poor farmers, had little to no access to healthcare. So when doctors offered free treatment, it seemed like a rare opportunity. Hundreds of African American men were recruited. They were told they were being treated for bad blood, a vague term used at the time for various illnesses. But they weren't told the truth. Many of them actually had a serious disease called syphilis. And the purpose of the study was not to cure them. It was to observe what would happen if the disease was left untreated. The men were never given full information. They weren't told the real goal of the study. And they didn't give informed consent because they didn't even know what they were part of. At first, this might sound like a terrible mistake, but it gets worse. In the 40s, a treatment became widely available that could cure syphilis. It was called penicillin. Doctors across the country began using it to save lives. But in this study, the treatment was withheld. The men continued to suffer. Some experienced serious health complications. Some lost their lives. And throughout it all, they believed they were being helped. They trusted the system, and the system failed them. The study didn't last a few months, or even a few years. It continued for 40 years, 4 decades. It wasn't until 1972 that the truth finally came out. A whistleblower exposed what had been happening. And the public reaction was immediate. Outrage, anger, disbelief. The study was finally shut down. Investigations were launched. And years later, the U.S. government formally apologized for what happened. The Tuskegee syphilis study is more than just a dark moment in history. It's a reminder of what can happen when ethics are ignored, when people in power stop valuing human lives, and when trust is broken and also had lasting effects. For many, it created deep distrust in the medical system, a feeling that didn't just disappear overnight. This wasn't just an experiment that went too far. It was a betrayal, and it's a story that still matters today.